Many knew him as Roland, others as Mr. Clark or just Clark. His preferred self-description was Roland the Music Man. But to me, and most of his closest family, he was just POPPI, which in Spanish means father. I first met POPPI and his beautiful wife Sylvia, whom we called Sita, in the fall of 1980, a few months after I'd come to Columbus to work as a reporter at Channel 6, which was then designated WTVN-TV. It was pretty much love at first sight, and 2 years later our connection was formalized when I was blessed to marry their daughter Marion. Now, the marriage didn't last, but my bond to Sita and POPPI did. You see, we shared not DNA, but rather a deep and profound L-O-V-E. And so, fast forward 38 years to the afternoon of December 28, 2018. POPPI had been feeling a bit under the weather for a couple of days, and so we decided to take him to the hospital to have him checked out. He was holding onto my arm as we walked to the front door of the house on Chestershire Road. As we stepped outside, POPPI just went limp, and he was gone. No pain, no struggle, no last gasp for air. In an instant, his long, extraordinary life simply ended.
10 TV News at 11 begins with breaking news.
And new tonight here in Columbus, this is the day the Music Man died.
I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride, but something touched me deep inside the day the music died.
Now, if you knew Roland Clark, then you knew he loved nothing more than being the center of attention and putting on a show. If he were a bird, he would have been a peacock. If he was a food, it definitely would have been pure Virginia ham. Please join with me for the next few minutes as Roland takes center stage for, as they call it in the entertainment business, one final curtain call. And we'll look back at the life and times of my POPPI.
In every way, and forevermore, that's how you'll stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too.
That proudly progressive spirit found everywhere in her broad domain. The jewel city of the green Scioto Valley, Columbus has been the state capital since the War of 1812.
The 89-year journey of Roland Hayes Clark began Monday, April 8, 1929, when he was born in the old University Hospital in Columbus. According to historical weather data, it was a somewhat rainy day with a high temperature of 69 and a nighttime low of 55.
Another bride, another June, another sunny.
The number one song in America that day, Makin' Whoopee by Eddie Cantor.
Reason for making whoopee.
When Roland was born, a loaf of bread cost just 10 cents. You could buy a new Chevrolet Coupe for $695. The gas to run it? Only 21 cents a gallon. And the average price for a new two-bedroom home in 1929? About $2,000. Roland was a teenager during World War II. About the time the war ended with the surrender of the Japanese to America on the battleship USS Missouri, September 2nd, 1945, Roland was beginning 10th grade at South High School in Columbus. He received his diploma in June 1948, one of just a handful of blacks in his graduating class. For comparison, today, minorities are about 80% of the students at South High. Roland answered the call to military duty several months after finishing high school, enlisting in the Army less than a year before the outbreak of the Korean War.
Here they come!
I don't hear nothing.
Wait for it.
Now, unlike the TV show MASH, which depicted a Korean-era military hospital unit, Roland was in the Transportation Corps, driving supply trucks, mostly in Japan. He was stationed in Washington State in 1951 when he met a young Mexican immigrant girl, Sylvia Flores, in a drugstore in Portland, Oregon. Several months later, they were married, moved back to Columbus, and had a baby on the way, a daughter they would name Sylvia Rolinda. Over the next few years, there would come another girl, Marion, then a boy, Roland Jr.
The assembly line continues without pause. Up to the second deck.
For more than a quarter century, Roland worked in the General Motors plant off Georgesville Road. It's now the site of the Hollywood Casino. Most of his time at GM was spent lifting car bumpers for placement on vehicles coming down the assembly line. During his nearly 27 years on the job, it's estimated he lifted more than 20 million pounds of steel bumpers. Here is a photo of the happy day in May 1991 when Roland and his family gathered in the plant to celebrate his retirement from, as he used to call it, Generous Motors. Roland was a man who loved to be wherever the action was. He went every year to the Ohio State Fair, and you could find him at most every music and ethnic festival around Central Ohio. He relished every opportunity, especially during his retirement years, to entertain as Roland the Music Man. He played in churches, nursing homes, at weddings, funerals, in children's hospital, and on street corners in downtown Columbus. At Lockbourne Road Baptist Church, Roland organized several so-called gospel jubilees, gathering singers and musicians together for some serious praise and worship sessions. For his 87th birthday, Poppy's oldest grandchild, Tara, organized a big surprise party for him. It was a marvelous affair with family and dear friends in attendance. And of course, Roland the Music Man entertained us with one of his favorite songs, God Bless America, which I happened to record and produced a music video, which was Roland's very first posting on YouTube. Roland Roland was blessed with great health and vitality. He was 86 years old the very first time he was hospitalized. It was for abdominal surgery. He was incredibly fit and active right up until the day he died. He was also a very eclectic man with a wide variety of things he enjoyed in terms of food and fun, although he did have his favorites.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Just days before his passing, POPPI recorded a special holiday greeting for a reunion gathering of his late wife Sylvia Flores' family in San Antonio.
And the little thing I would love to say, I'll hold you in my heart till I can hold you in my arms like you've never been held before.
And then on Christmas Eve, here are the last photos of POPPI alive, taken when he took some of his grands and great-grandchildren shopping for Christmas gifts. About 96 hours later, he left us to join Sita and Roland Jr. in heaven.
To be